Alright, Ljubljana, Slovenia, one of the smallest capitals I've ever been. I think it has about 236,000 people, which is next to nothing even for European standards. Like, that's a regular Dutch provincial town for you. And I think the whole of Slovenia maybe has how many million people? 2, 3, something like that. So it's 0.6 times the surface of the Netherlands. But it is a whole lot more interesting and pretty because in this 0.6 times the surface of my country, it manages to pack in at least tons of different landscapes. Because it has the Julian Alps, it has vineyards, it has beaches, it has rolling hills, basically everything. Except for tropical stuff and deserts, of course. But for a European country, Slovenia is probably one of the most varied. And now walking into the center, I have about 2 hours to walk around here before I'll take a train to Bled, which is the main site of the whole country. It's the very iconic lake in the Alps with a little church on an island. And because I have an hour and a half to explore here, I thought might as well just walk in the center, have a little coffee and see what's up here. The city is pretty polished, I must say, but it is less polished than I expected, at least. Well, perhaps it's not, I think just outside the center. Now I'm walking into the center, it already looks pretty just like Austria, let's say, or any city in Western Europe, and even better and cleaner, honestly. Nice. If I'm not mistaken, this building right here with the blue-white is Jugendstil architecture, which is especially common in the city of Riga, Latvia. But they have some nice examples here as well, apparently. Zadružna zveza. I don't know what that is, but it's the, let's say, corporation. I don't know what zveza is. But they're old letters, probably from the Yugoslav era, of which Slovenia was also a part. Albeit it is now the most prosperous of all of the former Yugoslav nations. In terms of stability, economy, and it's indistinguishable from Austria, let's say, except that the income is not yet as high, but it will not take another generation for it to be completely on par with the West, let's say. If that even were a good thing, because also the prices are increasing in Croatia and Slovenia. You just pay prices as you would in Germany, a bit lower than the Netherlands, but the Netherlands is ridiculously expensive. But yeah, there's so for the budget traveler it's still fine, but it's not cheaper than Germany, let's say. Cheaper than Austria definitely still, but not for long. Now this is the central square, and I always kept coming to Slovenia because it's not on any itinerary for me. It wasn't attractive either, because it's kind of far from Bulgaria. They don't have direct flights, so you need to go by, I don't know, bus from somewhere else or by train. So it never really happened. But right now, here I am, and this is it. It's called Prešernov Trg, which is the Prešernov Square. And there are some German tourists or Austrian. And there's been some earthquakes, so not everything is very old. Very nice. Up there is Ljubljana Castle. I was always interested in seeing this bridge right here, which consists of 3 separate bridges. See, and from the other side that looks very nice because you have 3 bridges leading to the main square. And just look how clean everything is, it's like spotless. Gives me a little bit flashbacks to Bern, capital of Switzerland, which has the same vibes, very quiet, except a lot more, or a lot less, young people, let's say. The city looks more livable, more alive than Bern. Switzerland in general, except for Zurich, is pretty boring and old-fashioned, if it comes to cities at least. Nature is overwhelming, of course. Just look at the streets. It's spotlessly clean, everything. Very nice. Not a bad place to spend your 30th birthday. I will probably not have a wild night out in Ljubljana, but I enjoyed a few drinks yesterday in Zagreb. Had a date as well with a Croatian guy, so that's a first. And yeah, I always enjoy myself no matter where. As long as the sun shines, I'm a happy boy. What a pretty town. I guess I'll have finished after this hour because I've already seen most now. And at least it's compact, so I don't have anything I'm missing out on. The Slovenian language is a lot more distant from Bulgarian than Croatian. For example, here, želel bi da se izbris nikoli več ne zgodi. I don't know what that means really. I just know words. Povedenemu človeku, I know človeku, so that's the person or the man, let's say. Korektno bi bilo, it would be correct if... And then again, I don't really know the... If it was Croatian, I would get 80%. Now I get 20, not even 20%. So also if I hear the language spoken, it's very distant to me. I always wondered how it sounds. It's, I guess, a bit closer even to Czech than to Bulgarian. I'm not sure if that's true, but definitely has very little in common with yeah, Bulgarian, I would say. So it's not true that if you speak Russian or Bulgarian you just get along fine through the whole of Eastern Europe. Like, people might understand Russian, but definitely not in Slovenia, I suppose. If you start speaking Russian here, people will think that's at the very least strange or uncommon. They will probably not understand unless you have someone who's, and probably not even, someone who's over 50, 60. Anyone younger, they'll probably look at you strangely and ask you to speak English. Or even German. You have a lot more better luck speaking German, actually. That goes for the whole of Central Europe. For example, the Czech Republic, Poland. Don't try speaking Russian. Your best luck is obviously just English, and if not that, German. And why not learn some words of the local language? Because although the languages might be different from each other, hello, thank you are pretty easy to learn and have plenty of similarities still. So yeah, it's not impossible. Just look at this water. Nice, and looks like alpine. Blue, turquoise, straight from some mountain. I don't know what this river is called. I'm not sure if it's the Sava or not. I haven't looked it up. But yeah, it's a nice little town. But I think I've seen it already in under an hour. Might sound a bit arrogant, but I've had my stroll. time to move on. I guess I'm lucky with the weather for the month of March. It is completely sunny. It's kind of cold, but that doesn't matter. As long as it's dry and there's no big crowds of tourists, I'm the happiest guy in the world. And yeah, what a place again. Can cross it off the list now. It's definitely one of the cutest cities I've been. And I guess it would be very nice to live here if I was a bit older. Like for pension I wouldn't mind. Right now I guess it gets very quiet after a while, especially in winter. But yeah, I could spend the summer here exploring Slovenia, the Alps. Yeah, it's really cute.